My au pair experience in Palermo, I was very excited with this family who really wanted me to come. So I went, and then I started my day right away, waking up at 6 a.m. with the kids and spending time with them. They were 8 years old and 11 years old, which means they had a lot of energy.
With the 11-year-old becoming a teenager, she can get very aggressive and moody. I always see her and the mother physically fighting and hitting each other. It was very toxic.
We spent the entire weekend together, which should be my day off, but I'm spending the entire time with them. I missed all of the free museums because of this. It's about Easter break, so they had a bit more time at home, so I spent the entire week with them. Within the first weekend, I was already upset. I was even debating about leaving before a week and not getting paid. That's how bad it was. I spoke to the mother about it and she said, oh, it's the first weekend, but it wouldn't happen again. It was a complete lie. I spent almost every weekend with them, and every weekday. So, for example, they have a summer house in Sheffield. They wanted to sort this out, so we went for a few days. Sorting it out means we're cleaning the entire house, and this is not part of my deal. She made us garden and clean for days. You see that one leaf? That's just the beginning. We did the entire house. Even the kids didn't want to help. She always called me last minute to do something. So, for example, oh, come home and set up the table. But she'll literally call me like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes before. And it takes ages to get back to the house. The buses come every hour and it takes about half an hour to get home. If I'm already out, she's making me waste about 2 hours of my time just to go back and forth. Sometimes she'll message me randomly and say, oh, could you get the door? And I'm thinking, but I'm already out. She could have asked me before. Or something like, oh, can you stay home until 4 p.m. to open the door for the cleaning lady? So this is what I mean about having no time to myself. She expected me to make the table, clean the dishes, and vacuum everywhere, and the house is huge, so you see how much work I have to do. Sometimes I don't even eat with them, and I still have to do it. There's no point of the cleaning lady because they don't want to pay her, so they make me do it all.
This was all in the first week. One day, she asked if I wanted to go to Montreal and that she'd drop me off, but she didn't actually drop me off there. She dropped me off and made me walk 30 minutes. After, I asked some locals, and they said you can only get there by bus. Mind you, it was very heavy rain. By this point, I'm already soaking wet. I get to the top, see everything, and I couldn't get back because there's not much buses. I had to get a lift from a stranger, and I almost died. I just wish that she kept her promise. Another talk that we had about was about my evenings off. I was like, are you expecting me to put them to bed at 11 p.m. every night? Then she spoke to me like, I never asked you to, and she said that I didn't have to. So in the evenings, we have events where I go see my friends. After talking about it, I thought we had it sorted, but what she meant was leaving at 10 p.m., which meant I had to wait about 2 hours for a bus to get there and back, and I got home about 3 a.m. in the morning. She didn't let me stay out or sleep out because she wanted me available for when the kids wake up. If I wanted to come back in the morning, she didn't want that. I had to be there already. One day, she invited me out for lunch at the market, so I went, and it turns out she wanted me to go home and do 4 loads of laundry. I didn't want to, but then she kept on asking me. So I went home and I did it, washed it all, folded it. She came home and she was super angry, saying it's not folded, even though it's folded, so her expectations were high. She has the cleaning lady, and she said, I don't want to pay the cleaning lady to iron the clothes. You should have done it for free. I was just really upset at that point. But anyway, the next day I bought her some flowers, some handmade pottery, and I cooked them a delicious dinner as an apology. I understand doing laundry for the children, but it was all of their clothes, and they're not a small family. One of my hobbies is pole dancing, and this is something I really wanted to do. I had signed up for a class, and they had agreed, but then last minute they told me to change my plans. Also, before I came, I also told them about studying Italian, which they also agreed on, but they never given me the time to do it. Another holiday was coming up and they invited me. I really didn't want to go, but they wanted me to go, so I decided to just go with them, because obviously when I'm with them, they make me do a lot of work. I missed one of the days because I already had a trip signed up for Corleone, which meant I had to pay for my own train to get there. We returned back to Sheffield, and they always host parties. Now, when there's a party of like 20 people, they're expecting me to cook and clean all the time. She asked me to dry the kids' hair, but obviously they're old enough to know how to do it. They picked up the hairdryer and she ran over, screaming at me, saying that I was supposed to pick up the hairdryer. It was horrible, and on the way home, all she did was tell me off. I ended up crying, and she said, I don't have time to talk to you. The fact that she didn't even give a fuck about me, I just said that I'm going to leave. They basically kicked me out in the middle of nowhere at 10 p.m. where there's no buses. I decided to just get a taxi and get a hotel. I was supposed to have a nice birthday with them, but I ended up having the worst birthday ever. So in total, I worked for a full month for them. I never got paid, and before I even came, I didn't really want to go because of the prices of the flight. They promised that they were going to pay for it as well, and they never did. So I got a message asking me how my pole dancing was. Please she helped me book it since I don't know Italian. And then I just couldn't really do much since I didn't get paid and stuff. Most of it's through voice messages, but it's so interesting because she's like, are you staying at this place? Which is actually where I stayed. And then it's like, two daughters, a penthouse. I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, how does she know this? So they have a reputation. And most of it's through voice clips, and I sent this all through as evidence as well. But like, Au Pair World only cares about making money. They don't care about the safety of whoever is working. And that was really disappointing. And I just thought it was really interesting to just see all of this. Because this is a person that lives there. And not only her, I spoke to quite a few locals who all said loads of things. And it's a shame because I don't want people to get hurt. So I've been talking to the support of Au Pair World, and they didn't really help me because I just wanted the money. Like, you see how much I'm asking them, but they're not really giving me any information. And then they gave me a reply, and they basically told me something completely fake and that I should just leave it. If I want the money, I have to find a lawyer. But they're already lawyers. Now, this is really disappointing because they wrote that I didn't do my job, which I did, and I have proof of it. But then it's word versus word, and because they're lawyers, they already know what to do. Like, they're saying how amazing it was from the past 10 years, blah blah blah. And I've spoken to those au pairs, and they told me how upset they were. They were working 60 hours a week, and they told me they weren't able to leave because they were a student. If they left, they had nowhere to go. They don't have money to go back. Especially since most of their au pairs were actually from America. Now, this was another lie. Apparently, I was only busy from 6:30 to 7 until about 8 o'clock, which is just stupid. Because what kid finishes school at 7 o'clock? Nobody. She would randomly tell me to come home and do stuff for the kids around 3 o'clock. And then I wasn't allowed to leave after dinner because I had all my night events that I wanted to go to, which I thought we agreed on, but it wasn't. I wasn't allowed to leave until about 10:30 p.m. And then the buses come every hour. It took me forever just to get into town, and just to go back home, I wasn't able to get home until about 4 o'clock in the morning because the bus would come about almost 3 a.m. It's not exactly safe there. Like, just reading this was really disappointing. Just how they wrote that is amazing. Like, yeah, they have a cleaner, but did they do anything? No. They asked me to do all the cleaning so they could pay less to the cleaning lady. They asked me to vacuum every, about twice a week, clean everything in my room, which I guess is understandable, but I wasn't allowed to close my room door. I had no privacy. They always came into my room because all their stuff was there. It was like not even like I was a child there or a worker there. I just had no privacy at all. Whenever I was in the house, I couldn't just go to my room and relax. They wanted me to always be doing something with the kids. They never gave me pocket money. I never had money. I had to do everything myself. Even when I went to spend that weekend with them, I paid for that all by myself. Okay, this one about me going back home, well, going to bed, because it was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm tired. And we were hosting them since dinner time, and dinner time is what, 7 8 about 7 p.m. So maybe I was rude and didn't say goodbye, but I was just like really tired. Everyone was just chilling on the sofa by then. Now they're talking about my boyfriend that I met, but we weren't dating at the time. We were just friends, and I only met him during the day. It never affected any of my work because he drove. So he just drove us into town. We'd just go for a little walk and then we'll come back. He lived uh maybe like a minute away from the house. And then it says I blocked them, which I never did. Apparently never called me to see if I was okay, which is not true. None of this is true. When I left that place, I was gonna go to a hotel, like get a taxi and get a hotel. And then figure it out from then. Because they kicked me out. This gym thing, they knew about this, that I do pole dancing. I didn't say I was going to do it, I just asked whether it was possible or not. If it's not, then I wouldn't do it. And they said not, so I didn't do it. So I'm not really sure why they're saying that I'm trying to take it off. But you know, when you do au pair, you're supposed to get time off to study. They never given me that time to study. Like if I wanted to do part-time work to teach English or something, which I originally planned I would have some time to do, I didn't have any time for that. Yeah, the mother made dinner, but when she was busy, she couldn't make food. And he only cooked me a boiled egg. Hmm. Yeah, she shouted at me all the time. The kids never helped. They were very spoiled. They used to fight, as in like physically fight, like hate each other. It was really toxic and a really horrible experience. When I asked other people about it, they told me it was not a normal family environment. And then that was about it. And I have other proof. Other people spoke to me about it, and it turns out they have a reputation there. So my main advice is to have emergency money to take care of yourself in case of a bad situation. Don't let people take advantage of you. People look for those who can not do anything. So if you're a student, don't have much money, if you're from a far country, they might just pick on you. Don't let yourself get stuck there. That's it, really. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.